Nuopurista kuului se polokan tahti, jalkani pohtii kutkutti. Ievan äiti se tyttönsä vahti, vaan kyllähän Ieva se juhlutti. Sillä eivätkö silloin kiellot haittaa, kun me tanssimme laidasta laitaa. Sankelipput, tappu, täppyt, tipput hiljalleen. Ievan suu oli vehnäisellä, koimme se tonne toivotti. Pää oli märkänä jokaisella ja viulu se vonkuja voivotti.
Birds are one of the most diverse groups of animals on Earth, with over 10,000 living species. One of the characteristics that best showcases this diversity is their huge array of striking colors and patterns. The purpose of Project Plumage is to gain an understanding of the diversity and intensity and pigment of plumage color among bird species, as well as how, why, and when bird plumage evolves.
Vision is the most important sense for birds, allowing them to fly safely, hunt for prey, look out for predators, and communicate with each other. Similar to the human eye, the inside of the bird's eye is lined with a layer of sensory cells capable of detecting light and color. However, bird eyes have as many as 3 times more cells per unit area, giving them a much sharper image of the world.
Fact or fiction? Some birds have the ability to see in the UV light spectrum.
Fact. Most birds are tetrachromatic, possessing 4 types of cone cells, each with a distinctive maximal absorption peak. In some birds, the maximal absorption peak of the cone cell responsible for the shortest wavelength extends to the ultraviolet range, making them UV sensitive.
The pigmentation of bird feathers consists of melanin, porphyrin, and carotenoid. The quantitative measure of carotenoid pigments in feathers is known as the reflectance minimum. Researcher Robert Bleiweiss from the University of Wisconsin-Madison shows how a feather exhibiting a certain reflectance minimum is processed differently by the cones of violet-sensitive and ultraviolet-sensitive bird species.
Bird fact or fiction? Does the intensity of a bird's plumage affect its mating success? Fact! Research shows that female birds prefer birds with plumage with high UV reflectance.
The color and UV level of bird feathers can play an important role when female birds are looking to breed. Additionally, the extent to which a bird preens itself can affect mating success. Research has shown that females prefer clean males to unpreened, dirty males due to their high UV reflectance.
The data being collected as part of the University of Sheffield's Zooniverse project consists of various categorizations pertaining to the different areas of a bird. The project has users identify different areas of the bird's plumage, such as the crown, breast, and tail. The researchers will then be able to look at the relation, if any, between various parts of the bird and its respective plumage color. Fact or fiction? Equatorial birds are on average more colorful than birds at more extreme latitudes.
Fiction. A common misconception is that a greater proportion of colorful birds live in the tropical climates than in other areas of more temperate climate. Due to the high population of birds in these areas, there are just as many brown birds as colorful ones. However, the results of a study in global ecology and biogeography shows that birds do not evolve more colorful feathers in the tropics compared to ones in more temperate climates.
Our project aimed to investigate this assumption about plumage color and equatorial radius. From the Zooniverse experiment, we created 2 research questions of our own to be explored while working on this project. The first and primary research question is to determine the relationship between the coloration of birds and their geographical breeding location. Our hypothesis is that, on average, birds near the equator will be more colorful than birds at more extreme latitudes. Secondly, under the visible light spectrum, we want to determine if there is a correlation between bird length and plumage coloration. We hypothesize that shorter birds will be more colorful than longer birds because their bodies have less surface area and they have to show a higher percentage of coloration than larger birds to attract mates.
But you might be asking, how do we measure the length of birds?
We got him!
Yeah, 6 feet. Just kidding, we didn't actually do it that way.
A program in Python was developed to analyze 19,341 bird images and extract data such as species, color, specimen length, and the location of the bird's natural breeding population.
After compiling the raw data, a normal distribution fit was performed. Our experimental hypothesis states that the mean concentration of colorful birds will lie on the equator. However, after running a t-test in the fit, we can reject our null hypothesis. Instead, our test suggests that the concentration of colorful birds is centered around the tropics. For this dataset, we want to test for a linear relationship between bird size and color. This is why we decided to perform a least squared fit on the dataset. After plotting the data, we find the result of our linear fit to show a low r-squared value. The result of our f-tests additionally show a p-value greater than 0.05, which shows that there is very little correlation between our two variables.
When everybody's heard about the bird, birds